Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a skilled sculptor known for making beautiful statues. His work was admired by many, and he earned a good living from his art. The sculptor had a son who showed a natural talent for making beautiful statues from a young age. As he grew up, the son also started creating statues that were beautiful and skillfully crafted. The father took pride in his son's work, but he would always point out small flaws in his work. The son also accepted his father's feedback and worked on his craft. With each suggestion, his statues grew even better. Slowly and slowly, with time, his art started to surpass that of his father. People began to admire the son's work even more than his father. They were willing to pay even a higher price for his statues. Despite his success, the father continued to point out small flaws in his son's work. However, as the son grew more confident in his skills, he began to resent his father's criticism. One day, when his father pointed out a flaw in his statue, the son lost his patience and said, "Father, why do you always keep criticizing my work? You act as if you are a better sculptor than me. People buy my statues more often than yours, and they pay more than for them too. If you are better, your statues would sell for more than mine, but they don't. My work is more valuable, so I don't think I need your advice anymore." The father, sensing the resistance of his son, stopped offering feedback. The son continued making statues, and for a while, he was happy and confident that his work was perfect without anyone's input. But over time, he noticed that people's interest in his statues began to decrease gradually. They no longer praised his statues as they once had. His sale also declined, and his work seemed to lose its former charm. Confused and disappointed, the son finally went to his father and said, "Father, I don't understand why my statues are not as admired as before. People have stopped buying my statues as they used to. I don't know what I am doing wrong." The father smiled and replied, "I knew this would happen because I went through the same experience years ago." Then he placed his hand on his son's shoulder and continued, "You see, my son, when we believe our work is perfect, we stop improving. I pointed out flaws in your work, not because I thought I was better than you, but to help you recognize the areas for improvement. As creators, we often love our work so much that we can't see its flaws. But sometimes others can notice those subtle flaws, and by listening to them, we can keep growing and keep improving." The son was silent, realizing his mistake and wisdom in his father's words. Finally, he asked, "Father, what should I do now?" The father said gently, "Just learn to be dissatisfied with your work and always believe that there is a room to improve for yourself. This mindset will inspire you to grow continuously and create even more beautiful art." If we see in our life, we will find that in our life, we often view criticism as something negative. We consider it as a protest against our work or abilities. But if we approach it from a different perspective, we will realize that criticism can actually be an opportunity to learn and grow. In this story, we see how the boy's downfall began the moment he stopped listening to his father's criticism. This teaches us an important lesson: how we handle feedback can either help us improve or lead us to downfall. In fact, criticism can be a valuable tool for our growth and improvement, and a chance to refine our skills and push ourselves to be better. Constructive criticism from our mentors, teachers, and others who genuinely want us to succeed is especially valuable. When we welcome this kind of feedback, it reveals our weaknesses, which we might not notice on our own. Just like the son in the story, rejecting feedback can lead to setbacks where our growth falls and our work loses its quality. Of course, not all criticism is helpful. Some criticism may come from jealousy or negativity, and it is wise to ignore that kind of criticism. But genuine feedback from those who care for us should be treated as guidance. When we pause and listen to our critics without taking it personally, we often find ways to make our work even better. So, whenever someone criticizes you, remember that critics can be our best friends because it guides us towards excellence and help us reach our goals.